With Valorant's release being today, I thought it would be very fitting for me to change my upload schedule and upload this video early. For those not informed, Valorant is an FPS hero shooter where you can play as multiple characters with a vast range of skills and abilities. And to be able to pick a character that suits your playstyle is exactly what Valorant is all about. And before I get any further, I'd just like to say that I've noticed that 99.6% of my viewer base are not subscribed, so if you like the content that you see, consider subscribing. It helps me out a great lot, especially on the YouTube algorithm. But with that out of the way, let's continue on with the video. Valorant is not like most generic first-person shooters like Call of Duty or Battlefield or even Titanfall 2. It's not very fast-paced, unlike those games, and unlike the hype for this game, which has been growing very quickly and has been gaining a massive fanbase and community surrounded around Valorant. Twitch streamers like Dr. Disrespect and Ninja have been streaming this game like no tomorrow. Valorant has exceeded exponential amounts of viewership on platforms like Twitch, and in April it peaked at about 1.7 million viewers in that month, which is absolutely astounding for basically a brand new game. The hype for Valorant is going to grow so much when it officially releases on June 2nd, where it will be openly available to everyone on the PC platform to play for free. And since it's free, I guarantee so many more people will be open to giving Valorant a try, and if they don't like it, then they will uninstall it, but if they do, they will become part of a massive streaming and just casual community for Valorant. Much like with Team Fortress 2, CSGO, and even Fortnite most recently, which are all free to play, and have gained a massive community surrounded by that game. Valorant certainly has a steep learning curve, and has led to many early adopters of Valorant to leave. Those who stay and attune their skills have become tactical players by using their abilities and skills to their advantage. Valorant is being compared to CSGO or Overwatch, and in some ways it has. It takes the best elements from those games and a little sprinkle of originality and mashes it into one game, which is Valorant. Even the art style for Valorant is akin to Overwatch or Team Fortress 2, but I'll get onto that a bit later. When playing Valorant in a match, you will be locked into your character choice when you start a game. You cannot swap your character out midway through a match or after a round or two. This means that you need a good variety of characters with a vast range of abilities that meld well with each other to ensure a victory for your team. Earning money in Valorant's gameplay is a big factor to what the game is about. You earn money by getting kills and winning and losing matches that allow you to unlock abilities and items in a match, much like the economy of CSGO. At the end of a round, the losing team will actually get more money, and this is done to balance out the potential skill gap, and therefore it makes it so matches are not so one-sided if certain players are vastly more experienced with the gameplay mechanics than other players, which is a very nice touch. Valorant's map design in general seems to have narrow corridors and hallways, but then are intertwined with big wide open areas, and this makes you think more about how you are going to position yourself, whether that be round corners or in open areas when defusing a bomb. And therefore, positioning yourself in a high-stakes scenario where there's one round between you can really make the difference whether you win or whether you lose. You can't just go around shooting and killing people either. I get that is the aim of the game, but shooting a gun when moving is not the ideal situation. It can change your chances of killing an enemy, unlike where in Call of Duty or Battlefield where it doesn't really make a difference. You have to move very little to be accurate, and this may feel unnatural compared to other first-person shooter games where mobility is the key to ensuring your survival in a gunfight. But players will eventually attune themselves to the style of movement that you need to ensure a win or just to get that one last kill. The art style is semi-cartoon-esque with some naturalistic elements thrown in. To me, the game's maps look flat and dull, but the characters' abilities colour pop, and it's really nice to just see that contrast in the map where your abilities are so much more present. I'm not a developer at Riot Games, so I have absolutely no idea what was going through their heads at that point in time, so yeah. This may sound like the biggest, worst critique that I could ever give a game's art style, but I feel like I have to say it. The art style almost feels like a mobile shooter, and I feel like you will know the exact kind of style that I'm going for, and maybe you'll see the comparisons and maybe not, but I'm just being honest. The merge between cartoony and realistic environments, it just gives me that feeling, but it's all down to preference. You may like the art style, and you may not, but personally, it's not for me. Every game in every genre has its own type of art style. If you look at Overwatch, it has an almost cartoon aesthetic. If you look at Borderlands, it's cel-shaded. But with Valorant, I feel like it's more of a safe approach in the sense that it will be timeless in its graphical fidelity, and in years to come people won't think it looks old and horrible, but it's just one of those timeless art styles that I feel like a competitive shooter like Valorant can pull off very well. And therefore I feel like I can commend Valorant's art style and appreciate Riot Games' choices with the art style a little bit more, especially if they're trying to go with that timeless classic look. Especially like games with Team Fortress 2 that still look moderately good so many years down the line. Valorant is a great first-person shooter, and any and every game gets compared to another. Valorant is a combination of some of the best shooters in modern times, and obviously it has its own flair to add on to those homages to other games. Valorant's shooting is responsive and demands skill to be mastered. Valorant is a game that I could recommend to almost everyone to at least try. Unless you haven't got the patience or control when losing, then I wouldn't recommend it. But if you don't have the qualities such as patience and control over yourself, then it would just be very fun for everyone else in game chat. Currently, right now, Valorant is a PC exclusive, and there has been no mention of a release for consoles as of the making of this video. But who knows, if it does, it could potentially take over the first-person shooter genre. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I honestly don't see Valorant coming to consoles, especially anytime soon. If we look at games like Team Fortress 2 or even CSGO, those games have never appeared on a console, and I feel like the integrity and the overall mechanics on a console wouldn't work as well as on the PC, especially because when playing on PC, you really need the accuracy of a mouse and keyboard to get that pinpoint accuracy to make sure that you get that kill. But if Valorant were to arrive on the console market, whether that be the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, I feel like the players on those consoles would happily welcome Valorant to their libraries. But I don't really see it being a priority for Riot Games to release a console version of Valorant, especially anytime soon, and I feel like it's definitely found its home on the PC market, and that's where it will thrive and continue to be supported. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy and learn a thing or two about Valorant, then subscribe and turn on that notification button so you don't miss another upload from me. So thank you and goodbye.